Less than 1 week after the Conservatives lost another MP to the Liberals, Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre is accusing the Prime Minister of trying to manipulate an undemocratic majority. The Liberals are now just 1 seat shy of a majority. And joining me now to talk more about the political theater playing out in Ottawa is Chris Adams, adjunct professor in political science at the University of Manitoba. Chris, good to speak with you.
Hi, Maralee. Nice to be on your show again.
Pierre Poilievre is blaming dirty backroom deals for the floor crossing we've seen as of late. I'm curious what you make of this. Do you think this is the case?
Well, you know, I suspect some offers have been made to individuals who are willing to cross the floor. As you mentioned, that they're 1 seat short of a majority in the House of Commons, so Mark Carney is looking to put together a majority. There are some concerns about Poilievre's leadership style that have been voiced on occasion. Also, the polling numbers show that Poilievre is lagging behind this party. The voters are more supportive of the Conservative Party than Pierre Poilievre himself, and whether they see him as the best leader. The other thing, Maralee, is that this last election in April, many individuals ran for in seats expecting to win. If you remember, the polling numbers a year ago from today really had the Liberals in a very bad state. So these Conservative candidates were running for office very much expecting to be in a Pierre Poilievre government. So now they're disappointed sitting on opposition benches. And the last thing to point out here is that those two individuals are in swing ridings. They aren't in safe Conservative ridings. They're in seats, one in Nova Scotia and one in the Toronto area. So those are seats that those members of Parliament, when they go back to their riding, they are not going to be vilified for crossing the floor in the same way as that Edmonton MP who said that he's going to be stepping down in a short while from the House of Commons.
You know, we've even heard from the Federal Energy Minister, Tim Hodgson's. He's told reporters that he's, quote, getting a lot of inquiries from other MPs who are thinking about defecting. Do you think this is just him being provocative, or do you think we could actually see more Conservatives cross the floor?
Well, one journalist said it's like they've stepped behind Pierre Poilievre and said, boo. And, you know, right now we've got Stephen McKinnon, the Liberal Party House leader in the House of Commons, has said that he thinks there are other MPs who are thinking about crossing the floor. I guess one of the things right now, Maralee, is we're looking at, coming up in late January, we're looking at a leadership review of Pierre Poilievre. That'll be held in Calgary. Most people think that Poilievre will do well at that leadership review, but nevertheless, if this continues, it will be a problem for the opposition leader.
What are the optics of all of this? I know we see MPs cross the floor from time to time, but to be this many in such a short period of time, is this unusual?
It is fairly unusual. I would say that it's unusual circumstances right now, that there's been such a turnabout of the polls from a year ago. Everybody was buoyant in the Conservative Party. The other thing is there are concerns about Pierre Poilievre in some quarters that maybe he's too right of center, not like the old type of leaders like Brian Mulroney or even Aaron O'Toole. So I would say that there's some concerns in the House of Commons among some, not all, but some Conservative MPs. There is a division in the party, an ideological division between those who are sort of more of the Reform Party legacy, right of center, and others who are in the Conservatives who are more of the what used to be called red Tories, that more supportive of social welfare programs and things like that, but at the same time tackling debt and crime.
You mentioned the mandatory leadership review Poilievre will have at the Conservative Convention next month. How secure should he feel at this point?
Well, less than a month ago, but I'd be very surprised if he doesn't survive the leadership review that's required by the Constitution to happen after losing an election. I would say that the Conservatives are hesitant to get rid of their leader, and we've had a number of leaders since Stephen Harper was Prime Minister. We had Andrew Scheer, we had Aaron O'Toole, and now to toss Poilievre would be like a very quick succession of leaders. So there is a need for that party to stabilize, and but if it's only like 60 or 65% supporting Pierre Poilievre, that's pretty hard to stay around for. So he's got to be looking for 80 to 90 to 95% support for him to feel secure as the remaining leader. But there's nobody in the wings right now, Maralee. There's nobody thinking, okay, Joe Smith or Tom Collins or Betty Young is about to come into the leadership like Paul Martin was with Jean Chrétien or Brian Mulroney for Joe Clark. There's nobody really that's clearly a contender for Poilievre right now.
Well, Chris Adams, it's always great to get your take on these things. Thanks so much for your time tonight.
Thanks, Maralee. Take care of yourself.